Hello everyone, my name is Marian Andre and today we're taking this beautiful Porsche Taycan 4S for a test drive. The Taycan 4S is the base version for this electric car from Porsche, but that doesn't make it any slower or doesn't have any worse range or whatever. So this is how it looks like from the front. I really like the way it looks. It looks like a Porsche, but it's kind of different from a 911. So we have different headlights. We have these rectangular headlights with this distinctive Porsche signature. We have the full LED matrix option. We have a nice clean nose. The grille is down there, but it's not so big. We have the nice Porsche logo here, and we also in the front we have a frunk. Let me open it just a second. This is how the key looks like. You can also have it painted in the car's color, and I've opened the boot by mistake, so no worries. And let me show you the frunk. So it's a similar size with the one you can find on a 911, but it's okay for I don't know, let's say a backpack or some shopping bags and so on. We have a screwdriver here and some stuff you need. If you need a fast zipper, we have the anti-theft wheel nut unlocker, and we also have a compressor, air pump. And on this side here we have, the towing kit, we have the tire mobility system, and we have a first aid kit right here. For the windshield washing system, the refill is made through here, and then you have the braking fluid right there. So easy to access, easy to use. Sounds a bit mechanic, but yeah. From the side you see it still looks like a Porsche. You have the front wheel arches really massive, so you can feel you're driving a powerful car. Same on the back. We have this coupe silhouette. We have frameless doors, so like a true four-door coupe. And also what I like about this front design is that the windshield extends quite a bit to the sides of the car, so it does cover up a bit this side, and it makes it look a little bit wider. It's like having no notch on phones, and it looks really nice. You have the panoramic roof, so you have glass from here up the way up to here, and then on the back we have more glass. Decent visibility, not so good. Of course, you have a rear view camera, which helps a lot, and we have this shape that it's getting narrower at the end of the car. And we also have these tail lights that are very slim. They feel like they're one piece, and we also have this LED ring that lights up, and then we have the Porsche logo behind that plastic bit here. We have Taycan 4S logo. As I've said before, the 4S, it's the trim of the car. It doesn't have as much horsepower as the powerful version like the Turbo or Turbo S. Here we have the boot, which is decent sized for a sports car. But what I don't like, nothing covers this bit here, so all you can see is like straight up aluminum. We also have, as an option, we have these 20 Aero wheels, almost fully covered. This piece here is not made of plastic like on other cars, so it's alloy also. And we have Pilot Sport 4 tires, which they offer really, really good grip. It's well designed, and these door handles look really nice. They're the same like on the new 911. Now let's take this car for a drive. As you can see in front of me, we have lots of screens, 4 of them to be more precise. Let me adjust the temperature a bit. In front of me we have a 16.8-inch curved screen, which looks really nice. You can have plenty of adjustments, so I can see here like G-force, and if I switch the screen here, I can see the night view assist. So I have night view, and then I can, let's have this minimalistic look. So yeah, it looks really nice. Very good screen, very well built, easy to read on during nighttime, or I don't know, when the sun hits directly the screen. We have some buttons here for the headlights, and here on the right we have for suspension, so you can have the sport suspension active. You can also lower the car, raise it if it's needed, and also turn off traction control. If you want to put it in reverse or drive, you have this stick here, so it's not mounted here like on other Porsche models. It's here, so when you're driving you don't see it. You just put your hand straight where it is, and it's really nice mounted there. We have this center screen for infotainment, so or different car settings for different assistants. Menu for trip, I can see information, and this is my average consumption, 23.6 kilowatt hour for 100 kilometers. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So you can have a better, I don't know, efficiency on a Tesla Model S or Model X maybe, but this car is aimed on performance, so it is to be expected. Here on the center, lower center of the console, we have another screen that has haptic feedback. So every time I touch a button here, I can feel a vibration through my finger. It works like similar to the Touch ID system on iPhone 7, iPhone 8 or iPhone SE2. Also, if you just touch the screen like on your smartphone, it will not work, so you have to press harder. And here on the top side of the screen we have some shortcuts that will open up right here on my center screen. So I've been using the car all day. I did about 80 kilometers or so, and now I still have 82% of battery left. As you can see here, I have another screen that only turns on when you have a passenger here or when you, I don't know, press harder on the screen. So it's like a replica of this one, but with we have different functions. So you can see like the cockpit, so the passenger can see the navigation information, so it can remind you if you have to turn left or right, and here have speed information. I also have weather, news, apps, and I can also have another menu here, so I can control multimedia from this side if we have a passenger. As you can see, the air vents, they're not adjustable manually, so you have to use your finger like that. And you can see little motors working around the cabin. We have two cup holders, which they're good enough for large cups and large bottles, and also we have a place here for phone charging, 2 USB-Cs and one 12-volt socket. I can also charge my phone here, just like this. We also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which works nice. The steering wheel, it's a Porsche steering wheel with a different kind of leather, which is more eco-friendly, and buttons for controlling this side of the screen or for the sound system and multimedia. We also have a drive mode selector for range, sport, sport plus, and so on. But now let's drive. Sounds electric. The suspension is really good, so even though it's a sports car, the suspension it's miles better than the one you have a Model S, for instance. It works really well with bumps and so on, so it's less noisy, better soundproofing underneath the car, and overall feels a lot more expensive in this way. Let me turn on the electric sport sound, which is a really nice option. It makes this car sound like a Formula E car, where Porsche has a nice history in. So if I'm accelerating harder, as you can see, I have this fake noise, which is okay. It's not as a fake engine noise, you know, on BMWs where you have like 2-liter diesel engines, which they sound like bigger engines. Yeah, sounds science fiction-ish, I can say. We have about 480 horsepower without launch control. Having launch control, it will boost up the power to about 520, and this car will accelerate in from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4 seconds, which is okay. It's slower than a Model 3 performance, but it can sustain this acceleration much longer. So you'll not, you won't get any heat warnings, battery warnings, and so on. And oh, 8 Series, nice. We have expensive cars in this part of the town. Let's pull up from a junction and do. Oh! It's really nice when you press the acceleration pedal. I was about to say gas pedal, but when you press the accelerator pedal, you have this first kick, which is brutal, but then you get a second one, which is even more brutal. We have two motors, electric motors. We have one in the front, powering the front wheels, and we have one on the back, which powers the rear wheels. And they work like a four-wheel drive system. Of course, the engine in the front is smaller than the one, the motor in the front is smaller than the motor in the back. And also we have a limited slip differential on the back, which can help this car steer a lot better, almost like having vectoring control. And yeah, this car can be driven really fast. The only downside I see of this car is the weight, because it weighs almost 2.3 tons, which is a lot, and you can feel that weight in faster turns. But also the battery can help a lot, because you have a lower center of gravity, and the battery pack works as a structural part for the chassis, so that the chassis is more rigid. So it does feel like a Porsche when you're driving fast, and that I like. You don't have any, I don't know, something that can give away that you're driving a Porsche. No, it still feels like a Porsche in any way, especially the steering, which is really well made. I don't see any difference from the steering on the Taycan and the one on the 911. Also, for the rear motor, we have a 2-speed gearbox, which I think that's the reason we have the second kick when you're accelerating hard. That second gear is really helpful when you're driving at 130 kilometers per hour on highway, because you can make the engine more efficient. This car is as efficient in the city as it is on a highway. Usually on I don't know, on a normal electric car like a Zoe or a Model 3, you have different consumption when you're going at higher speeds. With this car, it stays about the same. Also, the soundproofing is really well made. I mean, if I'm putting this car in range, and if I'm turning off the electric sport sound, it's sublime. It's really silent. I mean, I'm feeling like I'm floating right now on the road. I could bet you that if I didn't have the Pilot Sport 4 tires and I had a different set of tires, the car will be much more silent than this. As you can see now that I don't have a passenger on my right, on the screen there says Taycan, which is nice. Look, a 911, a Carrera 4. I wonder what this guy thinks about this electric Taycan. Old school dude looking cool. It's a really nice car to drive every day. It's easy to use, good in city traffic, excellent for long road trips, because you can also charge this car with 270 kilowatt power stations. Kilowatt, sorry, my Russian accent kicks in from time to time. And yeah, you can charge this car from 5% to 80% in about 22 minutes. But on this car, on the base model, we have a 150 kilowatt charging capacity, kilowatt charging capacity, and that will charge the car a little bit slower, but it's still decent enough for road trips. You only need to take like a 30-minute break after 300 kilometers, 350, and so on. We had a range of about 390 kilometers when I took this car, and I still have 327 left, so it's on par with what it's on paper. It's not as efficient as a Model 3 or Model S, but it's not far from that. And it can sustain that performance, like fast acceleration. You can, I don't know, brutalize this car quite often, and it will not affect the battery, not in the short term, let's say. Yeah, these are my thoughts about the Taycan 4S. I hope you like it, and don't forget to subscribe, and see you on the next clip. See you.